And so we are live. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome everyone on the call today. Welcome viewers. I'm joining you from the state of Oyo, Nigeria. My name is Josh, and it's a privilege to be your host today. Yeah, so this is the first session of hopefully many more to come. I'll be doing clean trade only Forex Gold analysis for today. Today is Tuesday, the 29th of August. Yesterday, Monday, was a cool and calm day in the market, pretty slow all round generally. Today, we expect some sweet moves. Today, we expect some sweet moves, and the moves already begun already. The moves are already on. So let's go right into the chat. Welcome once again, everyone. Welcome, and I'm happy to have you guys watching this video, and I hope you will gain some value from this video because that's my goal really. To share some value, and hopefully we both can take something out of the time we have together. All right, so I'm going straight into my charts. Now I trade gold. That's what I do. I'm a gold trader, and that's what I love doing. So I'm just gonna go right into the chart and see what we have at, at this time. All right. So the past recently gold has been quite interesting. So let me quickly do the top down analysis of gold. I'll start from the monthly. That's how I analyze the market. I start my analysis from the monthly and all the way down to the 1 minute. you know, all as appropriate. Yeah, the idea is not simply about system. It's more of what works for you. Okay. Apparently, the chart I'm using right now is not looking too good. So okay, let's move to another chart. That will hopefully give us something better. So it's all about you understanding the general idea of these things and figuring out how to make them work for you. Okay. Now the monthly time frame gives me a very broad view of the market. Gives me a very broad view of what's going on. I can see the market is an uptrend for the long term. It's been an uptrend for the longest time. It's been an uptrend for a while now, and I can see this is just like a top that has been validated in May recently. So now it has hit that top, and the two previous time it did hit that top, it went on a bearish run. Similarly, here it went on a bearish run. So now it has hit the top again. What do we expect? You know, let's look out for bears. Okay, we have a likelihood to have another bearish run, just like we've had on the two previous foray into this area. So that's what we're looking out for generally on the long term. Yes. Now that's that for the monthly overview, for the monthly outlook. Now going to the weekly. Moving on to the weekly. So basically for the monthly, I'm looking for monthly is a bearish. Monthly is a bearish area. Generally, I'm looking at pairs, I'm looking at sales on the monthly time frame. But I don't trade on the monthly time frame, no. It's just to give me a general idea of what's going on and the bias that I will be. Just a general bias, nothing too critical. Like I said, it's all about understanding about what is happening generally. And then you can take a decision as you go down. Yes, I can trade without doing the monthly analysis. Yes, I can trade without doing even this weekly analysis. Okay, it's all about price action and understanding what's going on when you want to trade. But then it always feels good when you have an overall view of the market. It helps you, especially when you are trading a particular currency. If you're like me and you're trading just gold, then understanding the market movement over the weeks, over the months, over the years it will go a long way in fine tuning and determine your accuracy and your confidence in the market. And the fact that you see something happening over and over again gives you much more comfort when you're taking your trades as well. So on the weekly time frame, you can see it's still in an uptrend generally because we have higher highs and higher lows. Now this is yet to form a new low. It is yet to break this previous low, so it is still in uptrend generally. On the weekly, it's still in an uptrend until it breaks this low we before we say it has completed its its uptrend and is now on a downtrend on the weekly time frame. Now it is approaching this 50 EMA. This is a 50. Let's confirm. Yeah, okay, that's a 50 MA. So it's approaching it. Remember the last time it made contact with the 50 MA, it responded. So now there's a likelihood of a response when it gets to the 50 MA, but that's if it comes down. So that is not happening yet. Now this is the weekly time frame. Previous week was a bullish one. Okay, we've had sales for the past few weeks, and then we're having a bullish a kind of retracement. Now this is already getting to the 50% of this impulse. So we're likely to have a buy to this area before a sell-off. So that's the possibility. That's the possibility for the weekly. So generally on the weekly, I'm seeing a bullish candle already. Today is Tuesday. It's a new week, and it's already running pretty a bullish candle. So let's see. Let's see. That may continue for a while yet before anything else happens. So I'll be looking out for bulls generally, at least in the short term. In the next few days, we will likely have bulls. Although it's already in an area where it could reverse anyway. It already made it's soon gonna make contact with these two guys, which should be powerful support more or less, you know. So let's see how that plays out. But overall, still gonna go for a sell, but now we can have a short term buy for longer term sell. Okay. So for my weekly, I'm looking at that's what I'm looking at for my weekly. Short term buy for a longer term sell. We'll see how that plays out. We'll see how that plays out. On the other hand, this could be the retracement for this move, and then it's probably gonna go for the full bullish move. So that's we have an idea of what's going on. Depending on the price action that we see and the confluences that go with that, we know what to do. Let's move on to the daily. Now you don't have to do this top down monthly to all the way down every single day. You can do this just once in a week or bi-weekly, just once in 2 weeks, depending on how much time you have or how much time you want to spend doing this analysis. So far so good. I've not drawn any lines. I could have been drawing trend lines, Fibonacci and all so on, but I'm just doing this video to do a simple analysis, where we have a general understanding of the market and what is going on our charts. So now on the daily time frame, we also had we had a mini uptrend. At an uptrend. Similarly, it is yet to break this pivot, this previous low, so it's still in an uptrend, and this could just be a retracement. Okay, so now, that's what we have. That's what we have. I'm looking at this is already a Fibonacci retracement area. Okay, so this could just be a retracement, and we already have, of course, bullish engulfing, and it's moving already. So that's settled. That's looking good. It's looking good. It's looking all right. Then we have a daily MA in this area. So yeah, it could buy for a bit before it responds for a sell, and this is also likely doing a retracement for this impulsive move. You can see we have a lot of it. Well, the candles are not too big, but they are quite consistent. They are quite consistent. So this could just be the retracement for this. Now, the reason why I may not really, the reason why I will not confirm it as a retracement is I'm seeing some big candles here. Look at this big candle that happened last week, Wednesday. You know, yeah, it's a big impulsive candle, and we shouldn't have too many of these on the retracement. So let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. So for the daily, I'm looking at buys. I'm looking at buys for today. I'm looking at buys for today. Yesterday was a buy. Today it's likely gonna be a buy as well. At least a buy to at least this area. A buy to at least this area before considering other options. Before considering other options, we could also buy to this area as well. Looking at this and this, basically looking at this, we can also buy to this level, but minimum this 50 MA is what I expect to get to make contact with before anything else happens. So that is for the daily. That is what I'm seeing for the daily. Then for the 4 hours, on the 4 hour time frame, okay, we had a very sweet, descending wedge at this point, and then as expected, gave us a double bottom, which was a W pattern. Good lord! Anyone that caught this, caught gold. And then we had the third touch is always an impulse. What with confirmation, of course. Third touch is an impulse. So got that third touch, you'd have rode your money, and you know let me just look at the probabilities for this third touch. Okay, let's say it took you about this point before you confirmed that okay, it's actually doing something. Then your stop loss, of course, will just be behind the swing below there, probably around there to give us enough space, and then you could have made let's see how many risk reward ratio. That's 10 risk reward ratio. Of course, this is just hypothetical. I did not catch this. Okay, even though I saw this move more or less, I did not catch it. And if I caught this one, but then I had a target, and once I hit my target, I got out of the market. So I didn't catch all this move, but I was seeing it happen, and it's just beautiful when you see things play out as they showed, and it gives you confidence, such so that when you see such a thing again in the future, and I promise you, you will see the same thing again in the future. I can show you the same thing that happened here, multiple times in the past, multiple times. So let me not waste our time, but a lot of. In fact, let me just quickly show you one that kind of three. Look at this. One, two, third touch and impulse. Look at how far the third touch took us. It's just the market just repeats. It just repeats. So that's the beauty of sticking to one trade and familiarizing yourself with. Sorry, sticking to one pair. Anyway, this happens on all pairs. So it's not just about this pair alone. It happens on all pair. That's the beauty of understanding what happens in the market, so that when it happens again in the future, you will know how to respond, you will know how to take advantage. So on the 4 hour time frame, what do we have? On the 4 hour time frame, I'm having, it was a downtrend, but now I've had a break of structure. I've had a confirmed break of structure on the sorry on the 4 hour time frame. So right now we are in an uptrend on the 4 hour time frame. We are in an uptrend. We are in an uptrend on the 4 hour time frame. So in alignment with that, so with that, this will be our impulse, our pivot, and then then the swing high, then the retracement into the Fibonacci retracement, and also into this support, into this area, this area of interest. Some will call it supply, some will call it demand, whatever you want to call it, into this area of interest. And then got the move, the next impulse, impulse one, impulse two, impulse three. Look at that. Now we have our third impulse, and I expect it to move all the way up to the Fibonacci level. Let's see the Fibonacci target level. So we are looking at this level as our target. Looking at this level as our target. Let's see if that aligns with anything serious. So okay, this level aligns with what? Aligns with this area, this zone. Well, nothing too serious. Okay, it's just that zone. Let's see anything serious on that level. Okay, yeah, we have quite this. We have a few points of interest in this area. We have this zone, this zone. We have this zone as well. I think, yeah. So that's our target. That's our target. That's what we are buying to. So we want to buy all the way to this area. Now that this is what's going to happen. Earlier on the daily and weekly, we saw that we will have a short-term buy. Okay, and at that point, anything can happen. It can either sell a longer term or keep going up. Okay, but at least it's gonna because we're gonna have a short-term buy confirmed. Now this is a potential target for our short-term buy. It's surely gonna rise all the way to this point. Do we buy now? Do we jump in? The answer is no. You don't just jump to the market. Even though it's gonna go in a direction, the market is so interesting that buyers and sellers are fighting for their lives. So even though the market is gonna go that direction, the opposite forces will not just fold and give in. They will do what they can to to avoid it going against them. So we need to respect that. We need to respect them for their sacrifice, for their efforts, and allow them to do what they have to do. So basically, we want to see them give up. We want to see them surrender before we jump in, before we join the ride. We want to see the opposing forces surrender, and in this case, the opposing forces are the sellers. Okay, in this case, the opposing forces are the sellers. So we want to see the sellers turn their sells into buys. Then we'll join that buy and make our move. With a reasonable risk reward ratio, the sweet risk reward ratio. Okay, so what I want to see is a break, which I've seen already. Okay, well, more or less. What I want to see is a break of this eye. Okay, I want to see a break of this eye, and then a retest. Now to break this area has been tested. Okay, has been tested, and it is respected. The sellers are there is a lot of sellers here, but I still expect it to get broken. Okay, I expect it to get broken probably on the fourth touch. Okay, let's see how it goes. This is first touch, second touch. I expect a third touch, then probably a fourth, and then it breaks. Let's see how it goes. That is what I look at. That is what I'm expecting. That is what I. That is what could happen. So I want to see a break of this level, and then um, so the break will look something like this. So this is the level that we are looking at. Then my break will look something around. Let me see, what time is it? Today is Tuesday. That will be in the afternoon. Yeah, should most likely in the afternoon my time, when we have more volume, when the banks are open and we have more volume. So I want to see a break, a retest to break and retest to this area. Right, so this is what I want to see, and with that, my trade will look something like this. Once I see a break, okay, that means the the buyers have relatively their weight behind this move. But of course, our sellers won't give up so soon. Our sellers will not give up so soon. So they will try to see what they can salvage. And immediately the salvage what they can salvage, they will switch their orders back to buys. And with that, we'll have an impulsive move to the upside, and that will be our confirmation. That's the break and retest. So once we have our confirmation, I think I expect that to come up around this area, probably around this area. Then our stop loss would then be just behind that confirmation, and our entry, our our target would be this level. So here is our target just before this level. Now that is a clean, sweet 1 to 2 risk reward ratio trade. This is what I'm looking out for. This is what we are looking out for at this time on the 1 hour time frame. Now our confirmations, of course, we won't be waiting for that on the 1 hour time frame. Rather, we'll look out for that on a lower time frame, preferably a 5 minute time frame. Preferably a 5 minute time frame. That's where I would want to see my confirmations from the 5 minutes time frame. Now, this is being respected right now. Here we had an impulsive rejection, but here it's not looking so aggressive. It's not looking so aggressive. And then the buy was more aggressive. The buys were more aggressive, but the sells, the reversal is not as aggressive. So I think the buys are still have the strength. The buys still have the sentiment. The buys still have the energy. The buys still have the impulse. So like I said, I expect another test, and then another test, and then a break, and then a retest, and then a move to the upside. That is what I want to join. That is the ride I want to go with. Okay, so that's what I'm looking out for. Then I expect my confirmation, my break and the retest to happen on the 5 minutes. 5 minutes. I don't really work with 1 minute. I think that's all right, guys. So that'll be all for today. We've seen what we're looking out for. I expect this to play out within the next few hours for us to. Oh my goodness! I think my screen was not sharing again. Okay. Well, it's got better. That'll be all for now. See you guys on the next session. Uh, Hopefully that'll be better.